Welcome back, Romantic Home family. I am Olivia, Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video, I am so excited to share with you guys some more DIY fall decor crafts. This is episode 26 in my huge I Love Fall series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. Now, hey, I would love to invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. It helps me out so much because I am a full-time content creator. Don't forget to comment down below and like this video. Also follow me on my brand new Olivia's Romantic Home DIY page. It's on Facebook. My old page, unfortunately, Facebook is still working on getting it back up and running. But in the meantime, we're going to keep on going with our crafting and decorating. Stay to the end as well because I'm going to share a brand new devotional with you guys. I have some green tea and we're going to plug in our glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Let's make a beautiful fall bow, and I'm taking some of this ribbon that I had really from scrap left over from last year. I had ironed it to make it smooth again, and I cut it in two separate pieces, and what I want to do is just take the ribbon and hot glue it from end to end. This is an amazing little bow hack that if you're bow challenged, you guys can totally make this. The next thing you want to do is take the other piece of ribbon and you're going to dovetail the ends of this ribbon. So you're just going to take and cut a little triangle in the end of it. That's going to give it a pretty end. Now take that first piece that we cut and just simply pinch it together and add it on top of your second little ribbon. And then I gave my bow some movement with these little twirly tails, but this is optional. And I'm going to share with you guys a bow without the twirly tails. And then I'm just simply stacking these all together and zip tying them off in the center. I love using zip ties because it's a really secure hold. Now you do want to probably cover up your zip tie, so just take another little piece of ribbon and hot glue that in and around your bow. But look at how cute this turns out, and then you can simply manipulate your bow, you know, if you want your tails to be out flat or if you want them to be hanging down, whatever suits your fancy. And this is a great way to repurpose and reuse some ribbon that you might not be able to use. Okay, we're going to make another one of those bows. Again, super simple. So you just take your piece of ribbon, and I would say this is probably about 24 inches of ribbon. So you're going to cut it evenly in two. You guys can totally do this. And then you're going to take your pieces of ribbon and you're just going to hot glue them from one end to the other end. This is a foolproof bow. Again, you guys can totally do this. I want to just encourage you guys and keep rooting you on because I know for some of you all, bows can be very challenging. I was bow challenged for a long time, and honestly I still am with some fancy bows. Okay, so the next thing we want to do here is make our ends really pretty. So you're just going to add a little dovetail on either end, and this is wired ribbon that I'm using. I suggest using wired ribbon, which most ribbon that you're going to get at Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree is going to be wired. So I'm just taking it and squinching it up in the center, and then I'm going to take that first piece of ribbon and layer on top of the second piece of ribbon, and you just squinch it together with your fingers, and then you zip tie it off. If you don't have a zip tie, that's okay. You can use another piece of ribbon to tie it off. You can use floral wire, or you could even use a pipe cleaner. Whatever you have on hand that you can secure those two pieces of ribbon together is going to work perfectly. Okay, here is how it looks. Now, how perfect is this little bow? It's going to be symmetrical. You could even layer your two bows on top of each other. Fun and fabulous, so budget friendly, and you guys can totally do this one. For this next DIY, we're going to make a cute little paper pumpkin. So I'm using these paper plates from Dollar Tree, and this is what I'm going to call a Meemaw craft. So this is something that you might sit down with your Meemaw and do, or your grandma. I'm going to take a piece of just old curtain lace, and I'm going to hot glue that on top of my little round that I cut out with the paper plate, and that's going to give it some granny chic or just some shabby chic appeal. So I feel like if my grandma was still with us, that we would sit and do a craft like this, and that's why I'm calling it a Meemaw craft. Even though I actually didn't call my grandma Meemaw, I just thought that this would be a cute way to name it. I just called my grandma Grandma, and she was wonderful. I absolutely adored her. So I went ahead and hot glued the lace and then cut that off, and then I'm going to really zhuzh it up, but it looks pretty cute without the extra trim on it. I have this discount ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby that I'm just going to go along the edge to kind of cover up, any little frayed edges that I might have on my little Meemaw pumpkin here. Drop a comment down below. What did you guys call your grandma? And did she live close to you? Did she live far away? My grandma just adored me. I was one of the first, girl, grandbabies. And so she would put me up on her kitchen counter, and I would sit and cook with her, and I was in awe. I thought she had the most beautiful kitchen in the whole world, and I just thought she was so wonderful. She had the sweetest voice, and she was a homemaker, so I really admired her. Okay, so didn't really have anything to make a pumpkin stem, so I just used some little Dollar Tree cattails to make like a little funny orange stem, and then I added some leaves. So I'm not even really for sure that it looks like a pumpkin, but it's a Meemaw craft, so we're gonna go for it. I'm taking a piece of wire and just hot gluing wire to the back of it, and then adding just a piece of scrap cardboard on top of that, and that's going to hold it on there. You guys could also add ribbon, and that's going to give your little Meemaw craft a hanger. So this is something that would be cute on your wall or on a little fall Christmas tree, or just to have fun and craft with your kids. It's a very good scrappy craft. You guys could also, use regular white paper plates and paint them orange. You don't have to use the lace, and you just can make it whatever kind of Meemaw look you want. So let me know down below what you called your grandma. What was one of your special memories that you had with her? Let's reminisce and think about that. We're going to really be doing some very budget-friendly crafts in these next couple of videos. For this DIY, we're going to make some super cute little jumbo hearts. So I'm thinking a little bit ahead to Christmas, but I'm also going to use these on one of my fall Christmas trees. I'm simply doing a trash to treasure flip here. I'm taking and just cutting hearts out of cardboard. This has become one of my favorite DIYs to do. I hope you guys don't get tired of it, but I want to share with you guys as many budget-friendly ideas as I can. Again, I am not going out and buying new decor this year for fall, Halloween, or for Christmas. I say that for Christmas, but I'm already getting tempted by some of the posts I'm seeing. I know I have enough though, you guys, because I have been able to decorate my whole house pretty full out for fall without buying anything new. Okay, so back to our craft. I am painting the little cardboard hearts white, and then I'm just drawing checks on them. And this really isn't probably very fall-ish, except for I'm doing some pink and some, deeper burgundy colors in my fall. It's actually trending. I noticed it on Pottery Barn to do some of these deeper purples and pinks for fall, which I think is amazing, because I see that in nature, in my yard in fall, I still have pinks and purple flowers and fall leaves and greens and browns. So it really occurs in nature. And I feel like if it occurs in nature, we can get away with it in our decor. I think pink and orange actually look really cute together. So anyway, I'm just taking a smaller brush and I'm just, drawing my checks on. I just thought this would be really cute to make a cute little checkerboard heart. And for Christmas, I've been praying about what I want to do for my Christmas theme. And this year, I'm going to do a romantic Christmas. And I want the theme of Christmas to be love. I want it to be God's love. I want it to be sharing love with our friends, neighbors, our romantic relationships, our kiddos. And so that's going to be my theme for Christmas this year. I think last year I did Home for the Holidays, so I need to come up with like kind of a catchy name for my Christmas theme. So drop a comment down below and let me know if you guys have any catchy names for my theme. My theme is going to be love, and I would love to have like a little catchy phrase for it, like Home for the Holidays. But anyway, we'll think of something. But so I did paint these checks, and then I felt like the pink was a little bit bold, so I went back in with a little bit of white paint to just kind of soften it up a little bit. I hung hangers to the back, and I did these in rounds and in hearts. So I'm hoping to actually do a full tree of these with probably a larger tree, because these look a little bit large for this mini tree, but I just have them popped onto here, so it's not really styled super great. Anyway, this is a fun idea, very budget friendly. For this next DIY, we're doing the Trash to Treasure cardboard hearts. And this take, I want to do more of like a shabby chic heart. And I wanted it to look really rustic. So I'm taking and I'm adding a little bit of brown paint in and around this white heart that I painted with chalk paint. I think if you lay down a layer of chalk paint, you can pretty much do anything with your decor. I started out wanting to give it a little bit of dimension by adding the brown paint, and then I decided to get really bold and add in some Mod Podge. And this is a way also that you can distress it. Okay, so I went around this larger heart with the brown paint, and then I decided to go in with some Mod Podge and cinnamon. So this is a way that you guys can distress an item and make it look kind of antique and vintage. Now, this got pretty distressed and antique-y rustic looking, but I feel like for fall, you guys can really do more of that look. And I'm really wanting to do 2 symmetrical fall trees to put at the entryway of my living room. But that's going to mean I'm going to have to undecorate my little fall tree that I did a couple of videos back, and I'll have to make kind of a bunch of these ornaments for it. But I really want my home to exude love this year. I want it to just have like fall in love with fall in love with joy, fall in love with hope. And my Christmas is going to be a theme of love and romance and, hope and joy. So anyway, what you want to do is lay down that layer of Mod Podge, then sprinkle cinnamon over it, and you can take your brush and brush it to give it kind of that rustic look. The paint was a little bit wet for me having gone in with some paint, so I feel like it got pretty covered and maybe didn't look as rustic as it could have looked, but you can really just kind of play around with this idea. And I think I even ended up doing 2 layers of cinnamon for this. Now, I needed to really let it dry overnight, so I didn't do anything else with this craft, but my idea was to possibly add lace and some pretty vintage jewels to this, and even like trim it out with lace. Let me know what you guys think that I should do with this. This is just kind of a part 1 to these little crafts. It does take a lot of time when you're Mod Podging and you're painting crafts to then really embellish them. But I thought it turned out super cute. It's not a fancy craft. This is kind of a Meemaw craft, something you could do with your kids or your grandkids. I think that's what I'm going to start calling our crafts that we do, that are like really simplistic and really using household items, which I think is really nice to use because it really saves us money and it allows anybody to have access to a craft. So this was simply a cardboard box that I cut up, and I got so many different hearts. You can cut them into pumpkins, you can cut them into whatever shape you love, and then paint on them. Okay, here is my little puppy dog, Benji Bear. You guys know he is a little 4-year-old terrier. He is loving this cooler weather. So look at these beautiful berries. I have just been trying to really notice nature and share it with you guys as I notice it. Just all the different colors. So see these beautiful hills. They're across the street from my home. And I'm really noticing the subtle changes. If you guys can tell that the grass is kind of turning browner. There are trees that are turning yellow and brown. But by the time fall comes, and I'm going to share it with you guys, the rolling hills are just going to be full of the most beautiful fall colors. So I'm super excited for that. And it's really once I get more into Christmas. But here is Benji Bear. He is so sassy. So he didn't get to see his girlfriend today, but he could hear her barking, and he was whining outside her house. How sweet is that? But he wants to say hi to all his puppy dog and kitty cat fans, and now it's time for our devotional. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It's a true blessing and honor to have each and every one of you all here. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I'm a DIY crafty mama. This is my 6th season on YouTube, and I am a one-woman show. I craft, edit, create, and produce all of my own content. So the fact that you all keep clicking on my videos and watching, it's really a true blessing. I have loved to craft and decorate ever since I was a little girl. So thank you all so much. I would love to invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribing is totally free. It just updates you every single time I post a new video if you punch the bell and click all. And also, listen, don't forget to follow me on my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. It's Olivia's Romantic Home DIY. I have a really big Facebook page that unfortunately got hacked, and I just talked to Facebook today. They're still working on restoring me. The hacker has been stopped. There's no more infiltration there, but you know, all in God's good timing, and if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. But in the meantime, I just created Olivia's Romantic Home DIY page, and we're going to craft and decorate there. I still have yet to create a group page for the Olivia's Romantic Home DIY because I want confirmation if Facebook is going to restore me to my old page and my old group page that we had so many friends in. So bear with me, you know, God's timing is perfect. So lately I have been sharing a devotional with you all, and this is more of God's words of life for women. Fun little devotional I grabbed at the thrift store. And the last devotional that I shared was on prayer. It was a really, really good one. So go back and watch that last video. I'm also trying to post these devotionals on my Living's Romantic Home DIY Facebook as well. Thank you all for the encouragement for me to share my faith. I've always felt like, you know, I'm not good enough to, you know, share my faith. I'm not a good enough Christian. I fall off the wagon all the time in so many different areas in my life. And I just have to keep climbing back on and doing my best. So if you guys are like me, don't hesitate to grab a fun little devotional and dive in and love yourself right where you're at. Okay, so our last one was on prayer. This one is on relationships. I'm excited to read this because, you know, I think relationships are such a big part of our lives, and it takes so much courage to have relationships, whether it be friendships, romantic relationships, you know, relationships with our family and friends. So let's hear what God has to say about relationships. This says God's friends. How do you like your friends? Do you like them to be faithful and loyal, encouraging, thoughtful, and kind? But how many of your friends would measure up to such standards? Friends are people, and people are not always faithful and kind. Just look at some of the people Jesus called his friends. Peter was always interrupting and telling Jesus what he should do. Then there was Mary Magdalene, whose sordid past was well known. Indecisive Thomas never stood up for his opinions. Then there was Nicodemus, a chicken for not showing his face in the daytime. These people had their problems. Nevertheless, Jesus valued them as friends. He didn't expect them to be perfect. He expected them to be themselves, faults and fine points together. And all he asked of them was their love for him and love for each other. Perhaps you're the type who forgets appointments or birthdays, house cleaning doesn't top your priority list, you get intimidated easily and fail to stick up for your friends. Aren't you glad that none of these things disqualify you from the Lord's circle of friends? Jesus says that you are his friend if you do two things: love God and love others. This, I feel like every time we read one of the devotionals, it's the best one, but I feel like this is the best one. So all we have to do is love Jesus and love others. We don't have to come to God perfect because God already knows we're imperfect. God already sees our shortcomings, our failings when we fall down, and those around us. And so God just says, hey, keep loving me and keep loving the people in your life. So thank you for God's grace. Let's see what the scripture has to say about relationships. A man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And that's Ephesians 5:31. If we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. And that's 1 John 1:7. Respect those who work hard among you, who are over you in the Lord and who admonish you. Hold them in the highest regard and love because of their work. That's 1 Thessalonians 5:12-13. If you are offering your gift at the altar and there, remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift. That's Matthew 5:23-24. Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth. And that's 1 John 3:17-18. As we have opportunity, let us do good to all the people, especially in those who belong to the family of believers. And that's Galatians 6:10. Okay, so this was a really, really good one. It reminds us that we do not have to be perfect to come to God's grace. We just have to love God and love others. and that relationships are so, so important, and reconciling those relationships. And I feel like this is a sacred echo because in church this last Sunday, our pastor talked about how he has concealed anger before, he has concealed things that could have hurt somebody deeply just to kind of keep a friendship. And so always walking in God's wisdom and grace, I think, is super important. It's super easy to lash out. It's super easy to send a text, to make an angry phone call. I always have a rule of thumb, give it 24 to 48 hours before we say anything, because we don't want to get caught up in our anger. We don't want to say things that we're going to regret. We all do it though. You know, it's a practice in patience, and it's a practice in wisdom. And it's all also vulnerable to be quiet and just listen. So anyway, I hope this blessed you. You all bless me every single day with your kind comments, your love and support. I pray for you guys. If you guys need prayer, drop those prayer requests down below. I am getting excited for sharing my fall home tour with you all. Super, super, super excited for that. I've been working on my home all weekend, cleaning and tidying things up and trying to make things look fluid. And then also getting super excited because I'm starting to peek into some of the Christmas decorating ideas. And of course, I'm going to share with you guys my home. I've already even done some Christmas for you all with our Christmas in July. I did this big wreath that's back behind me. I have actually 2 holidays going on out here in my studio, which is my garage. But yeah, so I'm going to share with you guys different themes, different colors, and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you for being here. It's such a true blessing and an honor. My daughter has a tennis match this evening, and you know, this is the last of the last for her because she's a senior and she just does tennis for fun. And then my son is also a senior. So this next weekend, one of his friends is getting married. They're going to be 23 this year. I think his friend is 24. So, you know, so many different big changes. And I know that my son has some big plans for his girlfriend upcoming. So, you know, oh my gosh, my heart just swells to even be a part of their lives. They sent me the cutest little picture this weekend. They had attended another friend's wedding. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I'm so blessed. I have so many things to count as my blessings. And a big one of those is you all. So thank you for blessing me with your presence, with your comments, with your love. I feel your prayers and I feel your love and support, and it spurs me on to keep doing what I'm doing and keep sharing my little corner of the world, which is just, I'm in a little bitty home and, you know, in the southern Midwest, and, you know, grew up on 100 acres. Had some really wonderful parents and siblings, and went through a lot of trials, you know, a lot of highs and lows, personally with my family and all that kind of fun stuff. So none of us is without our trials, and none of us is without a stumbling. None of us is floating through life, no matter how big our smile is or how, you know, perfect our social media presence may look. None of us is going through this life without pain. But I think our biggest thing is we just need to spread love and joy. In fact, the theme of my Christmas this year is going to be related to love, just spreading love, spreading forgiveness. I think there's so much negativity and toxicity out there. I don't tune into any of it, so I don't even have an opinion on any of it because I don't listen or watch any of it. But I am going to be spreading love, like just loving each other this coming up Christmas. So stay tuned for that. But I love you all. I'm going to stop and hug all of your hearts right now. Give you the biggest, biggest hug. You're a joy and a blessing and an honor. And until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.